It's almost 2 in the morning, and you're awake, rereading old messages. A thing that never got a name, never got a label, has you thumbing over a contact you promised yourself you'd stop opening. You ended a formal 5-year relationship once. You cried for a weekend and went back to work on Monday more or less intact. But this undefined, unofficial connection lasted 12 weeks, maybe 15. 3 months should hurt less than half a decade. The math feels entirely wrong. You're left wondering if you are overreacting to something that no one, including you, will even let you call real. The length of a connection has almost nothing to do with how much its ending hurts. The pain is measuring something else entirely, the uncertainty. A clean break allows the body to knit back together. A wound that never gets to finish keeps the entire system on high alert. When an experience lacks a clear ending, the brain stays trapped trying to process an incomplete event. Think about the actual rhythm of an undefined relationship. A quick reply in 4 minutes, then total silence for 2 days. Intense warmth on Tuesday, completely unreachable by Thursday. Warm, cold, warm, cold. Your body learns that pattern fast. To understand why, we look back to the 1950s. Psychologist B.F. Skinner was mapping out exactly how different schedules of rewards shape behavior. He ran experiments using pigeons to see what happens when a subject guesses when a reward will appear. He discovered if a reward comes after an unpredictable number of tries, a variable ratio schedule, it creates the hardest habit to quit. A slot machine pays randomly to keep your hand on the lever. Intermittent affection works exactly the same way. A sent text is pulling the lever. Sometimes it pays out with silence, sometimes a warm paragraph. Your attention gets held hostage by the uncertainty. The intense longing felt in the aftermath is the biological panic of a nervous system forcefully disconnected from a conditioning machine mid-cycle. Conditioning explains the craving, but not the confusion of losing someone who is technically still there. They vanish from your daily life, but linger at the edge of every scroll. Researcher Pauline Boss spent her career studying exactly this feeling. She identified a specific condition called ambiguous loss, a loss that stays unclear and never resolves. A situationship somehow triggers both forms of this loss at once. The person is physically gone but digitally present on your screen, and they were emotionally absent even on the nights they were lying right next to you. Without a definitive, undeniable ending to mourn, the grieving process chemically freezes. You are left entirely immobilized, stuck waiting for new information that will never come. When you share this pain, a well-meaning friend points out you weren't officially together, so you fold the grief up small, tuck it away, and pretend you're fine. Grief researcher Kenneth Doka named this disenfranchised grief. It happens when society refuses to recognize a sorrow as legitimate, leaving you without the tools to cope. When a marriage ends, we know the script. People bring food, they check in on you. There is a shared agreement. An undefined relationship offers no anniversary anyone remembers, and no one validating your loss. Proving your loss is real before you're permitted to feel it costs you twice. The unacknowledged pain goes underground, doubling the trauma through isolation. One more mechanism keeps you awake, discovered a century ago by psychologist Bluma Zygarnik. She noticed that waiters recalled the exact details of an unpaid order, but forgot them the instant the bill was settled. An unfinished thing holds a place in your attention that a finished thing quietly releases. The brain feels a powerful, restless tug to go back and complete what it never got to close. Because the mind cannot find an ending in reality, it attempts to complete the story using the imagined future. You find yourself grieving the limitless potential of Sunday mornings and ordinary trips, a version of the story that only exists in your mind. Overthinking is a logical Lekelt to manufacture the ending it was never given. You are trying to measure a future you only imagined, which makes the loss feel infinite. When you put the pieces together, the math makes total sense. The loss is outsized because it was built on addictive uncertainty, frozen by ambiguity, hidden from society, and left completely unfinished. The closure you are waiting for will not come from them. Waiting for a final conversation, an apology, or an explanation will only keep the loop spinning. They were never holding the missing piece. The only way to stop the loop is to manually close the psychological file. Write down every unanswered question and then write the honest, unvarnished ending yourself. Document that it happened, it mattered, and it is over. You do not need their signature to make your loss official. Closure is a decision you make inside yourself. By writing that final page, you give your nervous system permission to finally set the whole thing down.